Hi, welcome to Versus, where we watch 2 TV shows so you don't have to. Today we have...
Versus.
We'll start with Rail Wars.
Rail Wars,
trains, JNR Line.
JNR Line, Anoraks, propaganda.
Anoraks. Yeah, trains are good, we want to learn how to train.
This is what you need to do. Just don't molest people.
Don't molest people straight away.
A big one. I mean, the guy gets called a molester. Maybe actually we should probably define the word molester so everyone's not a molester for going and trying to help a kid get a balloon down.
Yeah, so Takayama is your classic anime dark-haired boy.
Just a standard kid.
Who has random women constantly just falling on him in panty shots just every
all the time.
couple of seconds.
Yeah.
And he wants to be not even a train driver, it's like,
he's just a conductor, essentially. I think it's a bit like conducting.
Shoot guns, do judo or whatever, karate or whatever.
Time schedules, got to help people. It basically seems like these people are trained exactly the same way as the police do.
Yeah, they seem like security.
Yeah, but it's crazy, like how...
It's crazy.
It's crazy. But, like, how much they have to know about the trains as well. Like, we had to get it to, like, 100 kilometres per hour.
Oh, so yeah, there's a whole section, which I'm still convinced was in a warehouse.
I don't know why you think this is in a warehouse. They opened some doors, and then they saw this train, and Joe went,
in the snow.
They must have been outside the warehouse, going into the warehouse, as opposed to inside the warehouse, going out.
Whoever edited it gave the impression that they walked into a warehouse full of snow.
When you're editing this, you're just going to see it and go... Oh yeah, I don't know why. You thought that.
Well, anyway, I'm keeping this in. But yeah, they basically have to both of let's just quickly do the characters. So Takayama, the main kid. Yeah. And you've got his mate who's a bit tough. I can't remember his name. But totally likes eating.
Essentially Toji.
Toji, there you go.
This is called Toji. And then not called Toji, by the way.
And then you've got Sakurai, who's the red-haired girl, who's obviously a bit crazy and punchy.
Well, they're both a bit crazy.
Yeah, and then you've got pink-haired girl who can remember everything, who's my wife.
Yeah.
She's obviously the one who just ends up being turned into just a sex object, sadly. But when I met her, I didn't realise that was going to be the case. I thought she was just going to be normal, but then it's like,
what you didn't realise as soon as you met her, when her skirt bellowed up and she tried to like cover it up, you didn't realise at that point.
No, it's because it was because more the other guy was getting accused of molesting a balloon.
Yes, so I wasn't really into Sakurai at all.
She just shouted the whole time.
You sort of gave me Sakurai. I don't know why we have to basically assign ourselves.
We're now going to do this.
No, I got the next one. I got the brown haired one at the end. You know the one that's not introduced, the teacher sort of thing.
Is she a teacher?
I don't know. I think she might be just one that's a bit more experienced.
Yeah, that's what you like.
Yeah. Anyway,
so basically, they're the 4 characters who you're stuck with most of the time. And they don't really draw anyone else. And it's like, it's strangely, just us 4 managed to get through these tests. And it was always just them. But long story short is they go into this warehouse full of snow with 2 massive trains and a whole like continent. And they have to put coal in a train to the right level, even though we don't use coal trains anymore. It was more just like a history lesson.
Yeah, it's a history lesson.
One of the things about being a conductor is you have to be able to shoot people with a massive dirty Harry revolver.
If they're being molesters or anything.
Yeah, just shoot them dead.
But they've got to do they've essentially got to shoot 1 bullet a week because they've got to shoot 50 rounds in a whole year, which just
on target
seem
though.
Like...
You have to
Is it on target?
Yeah, I'm sure they said on
target.
So
that girl's one where she was like flying everywhere and shooting them all over the place. They didn't.
My wife, you mean? Not that girl.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it was just these big revolvers. Which obviously, if you know, even obviously the bigger the revolver, the more like kickback, and they're just like pow pow, and they're just shooting them around, and she's like falling on the ground, like people are going to die. The whole school bit went back. I thought it was going to be the whole series.
Half an episode of school.
Yeah, I thought the whole series was going to be just them learning, getting their train certificate. But very early on, they're working in I think it's Ginza Station. Well, Tokyo Station, Ginza Station. Yeah, and there's some muggers.
Yeah. And they basically mug a woman, and then they get on the train, and then even though these guys have got like authority, surely they can't stop the train. They can't stop the train. They can't just go, hold on, muggers there. There must be a button, smiling enough in my face. But so they didn't stop it. But then they get Dr. Train,
Dr. Yellow.
I love.
Dr. Yellow, wasn't it?
I thought it was
Dr. Yellow. Dr. Yellow.
Oh, it's Dr. Yellow. But the Doctor Train, which I actually really like, because the Doctor Train goes around and checks everything. I'm just working out if this is actually real stuff and they're just teaching me as they go.
It reminded me a little bit of that how many kilograms of stuff can you weigh?
Yeah, no, it was a bit like that.
No, informative anime.
Yeah, no, it was, I think you're exactly right. It was exactly like that. And with the train classes, and they were like, it's a 6, but then F is the 6th letter of the alphabet, so it's got 6 wheels. But it's the thingy,
and it's got squirrel thingy,
a squirrel cage motor.
Yeah,
but I imagine them. I mean, that could be bad translation. Bad translation. Yeah. But part of me does feel like when they originally made motors, they had some like
funny names,
like some funny names. Was like, oh, there's about the size of the squirrel cage.
Yeah, it sounds like squirrels
so
running around in there.
Constantly gone on. Anyway, let's move on to Initial D before we overly compare them. Okay,
I fucking loved Initial D.
You really? Okay,
for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I know
it was very fucking good.
It was similar to why we loved Darling in the Franxx last week, just because we hated so much of
it. It was hilarious.
It was just so 90s. It was honestly like Max Power, the magazine, had just been like pages ripped out of it, all the girls taken out of it and thrown in the bin, but everything else was in there.
At the end, we were like...
A lot of car talk as well, just like in Rail Wars. There was a lot of like numbers getting thrown around.
Yeah, a lot of shop talk,
idea what they're talking about. Yeah.
But at the end of it, we were even like, when was this made? Because I thought it was like 1988 or something.
Yeah,
I was like, I really thought it was, and it was 1998, wasn't it? Or the manga was like 95, and I think the series was like 98.
Yeah, it was...
But it wasn't drawn particularly well, and then the problem was
the drawing. It wasn't
the mouths.
I know, but it feels like they put all the money into the 3D animations, which now looking at it, oh my god, what? But I would be really interested. This is another one we should go back and do a next time on.
Oh, in a year's time we'll do the most recent.
Yeah, because that was like, I don't know. I feel like nowadays they could do that really well, and it'd be cool. But I want to see the old original.
But I think that just in terms of the actual, obviously the animation's hilarious, and I'll be intercutting the 3D animation because there'd be a drawn car, and then it would cut, and they'd get into like a perfectly smooth yellow car with no detail, just sliding down the road.
So good.
But I think. By far, I think the actual normal animation is the worst we've watched out of all the verses.
What, more worse than Ashita no Joe?
Yeah. Because that had a bit, I think that had a bit of, it doesn't matter, that had a bit of like a style to it, where this was just like,
yeah, I get what you mean.
Even like the hot guy, the kind of cool hot guy, just looked like
weird,
he'd been beaten with the ugly stick. And then there was one girl, which is fine.
But she looked
weird. Everything looked weird about everyone. And the way I was obsessed with how clothes hung on people, it all looked weird.
It's like 90s.
It was like
baggy.
Weird folds and just like...
Yeah, I don't know. I think they just weren't trying to sexualise anybody.
No, I don't mean sexualise. It was just more like things were drawn. Things were drawn, and just everyone was very uncool. Cause it's like when the Red Suns, whatever.
Yeah,
the other car gang turned up, and they're like getting out of the cars, and it was very Fast and Furious vibes throughout.
Yeah,
a lot of where it was like going to the gear stick.
Yeah,
it was
and quite, all the foot motions and stuff like that.
I feel like Vin Diesel and that were watching and we can make a film out of this. But everyone was getting out of the cars, and then obviously Fast and Furious, everyone comes out with like. Whatever the fashion clothes on, some girls, it's like, hey, we're so... And these guys just like knobs. Everyone looked like
everyone
knobs.
Did like knobs, you're right there. Aside from all that stuff, like, if you were a car nut, I imagine this would actually be quite good for you.
Yeah, well, it was weird because the main two characters were talking about they wanted cars and they knew all about cars, but they couldn't... They just got their licenses.
But they were, like, lying as well. So the main kid, like... I'm just going to say spoilers.
Well, the mystery of the show at the start is there's someone who's driving around the mountains who's amazing and no one knows who it is.
Yeah, and then you meet this kid who apparently doesn't have a fucking clue about cars.
Doesn't understand why they're good. He doesn't understand why people enjoy it.
But he's obviously just playing a fucking idiot. Yeah. But it's weird because you're kind of watching the whole show and then it's like, right, well, it is you. Why were you doing
But why was he lying? What was the benefit?
Yeah, what is the benefit? Like, there is nothing unless, like, it's going to be great in the next show, the next episode, when the Red Suns realise that it's him, and it's like, oh my god, it's you, and then that weird guy with the duck mouth realise that it's
I actually quite liked him by the duck mouth guy, but I was like, why have they drawn him so bad? But it would have made more sense if the drifty, mysterious guy, obviously the police wanted him. There was like, say there was like a reward out for him or something.
But it felt like all the drifting, everyone was like, oh, there's that guy again, driving down like a nutter. Oh, he works at that.
And everyone was just fine with it.
Shop.
So the whole mystery identity or whatever, it didn't seem to make...
No, I completely get that.
It was funny. We laughed out loud. And the end credits.
Yes, yeah, the end credits were incredibly odd. It looked like, what's that? Who are the people that did that? You're my butterfly, sugar, baby,
Crazy Town,
yeah. It felt like they were doing the music video for that.
Yeah, it was. It rates nearly as high as our Macross credits, which we're not going to mention. You have to watch our Macross versions, but they're very close.
It's the combination of live action, 3D, and animation,
and then sometimes singing with a bit. Also, actually, the credits from Rail Wars I actually really enjoyed. The ending song.
Oh yeah, that was good actually.
With the way they mix in every other line is in English and Japanese, and it's kind of like bizarre. We're like, why are you saying just that word in Japanese?
Yeah, that was weird.
But the actual ending song I really liked. It was
okay. Yeah, no, I get that.
Rail Wars is okay. I think they only had one series. I kind of get it. It's sort of a bit more like a bit happy-go-lucky. Like nothing really important's going to happen. Like I think it's unless.
Yeah,
I can't really see much wars going on. I was confused by the wars in the title.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right there. I thought maybe it might be like all the different students competing for which train they want to work on. Yeah. But it didn't really feel like that at all either.
Yeah, well, I say the end credits suddenly made it look a lot more interesting. A lot of people pointing guns and there's a lot of new characters.
There was a lot of that.
Where's it going to go?
Yeah, I wonder. What do you think? They're going to uncover some sort of like train ring of crime of like all these molesters, and there's going to be this
lot of molesting,
one octopus-handed molester who's going to molest out.
He's the king of the molesters. Yeah. I thought there was going to be another, because he kept banging on about the JNR company, and I thought, well, maybe there's going to be another company comes to town, and then it's like, it's competing. Like, we're going to do better fares than you. Bang! Like I don't know how they'd war. Initial D, I thought. Obviously, I know it had like 5 or 6 different seasons, and I think it's been remade and movies. And stuff, so I'd quite see where it goes, but it was just more of the fucking funniness of it. It was just funny to watch.
Initial D did actually have a lot more going for it later on, I feel like. I mean, I want to know what happens when the Red Suns come back and then they're going to do the fighters, and obviously loads more different fighters can come to town and do that different thing.
Yeah.
He can go somewhere else. It's interesting. But I can't imagine what more rail crime could go on, aside from molesting.
Well, that's the thing. I think with both of these shows, I feel like, obviously, Initial D's gone on for years, so they must be going somewhere, but I feel like they're slightly limited. So it's like, okay, you got rail crime on that show, unless literally wars happen. And then on Initial D, it's like, okay, there's going to be mountain drifting, but then what? Maybe he goes to other countries and does in competitions, but again, it's still going to be. But there's going to be drifting.
Yeah, but there's still so much. But I feel like with rail wars, it's all going to be set on the trains.
Well, yes.
And that's what I mean. But like, you can't like. They're never going to have like just a random train carriage full of like gangsters or like But like, I'm thinking with this one, with Initial D, he could get involved in some underground shady Yakuza driving ring where he has to drive for them, a bit like Fast and Furious.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Yeah.
In a similar way, like he has to get involved in and turns out the Red Suns are actually paid by some guy to deal drugs out as well, maybe. Or something like that. I don't know. Like it feels like there's more to go with. I think
you've got more options with Initial D.
So for this episode of Versus, the winner is
Initial D.
Yeah,
which we assume means drive. Is it going into?
Yeah, no, Is that what it is? But we thought it was Initial D, but then we realised that they keep changing
because the manual.
Yeah, the manual. So it wouldn't be like, turn to Initial D.
Yeah,
Initials D. We're saying initial a lot.
Initial.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Initial D is the winner.
Goodbye.
Initially.